Can Patrick defend the space station from a destructive hail of asteroids? Did you know that Latin for starfish is asteroidia? Could this be an amazing coincidence?
Flying around with the wind in my hair. Except there's no wind. And I've got no hair.
Hilarious jokes. Welcome back to Creature from the Krusty Krab. We're still doing the Rocket Rodeo stuff. There won't be all that much of it in this video. It's a pretty short section of the game. But it will not be the last of this kind. But yeah, now we have lasers, and so you can shoot things, and it's a little bit difficult. And this will be the case with, I don't think it's any surprise to anybody that there are going to be sections of the game where you fly as SpongeBob in the plane, and they are extremely similar to this. Yeah, it can be a little bit difficult to know, like, where the things that you're trying to hit and collect actually are in three-dimensional space. Just because of, like, the angle, because it, like, turns you around automatically, and, I don't know, the angling of things is a little bit finicky, I'm not sure. And my, like, neck and chest are extremely sore right now, and I have no idea why. I don't know if I've been sitting weird, or I don't know if I did something bad to my neck or whatever. I mean, I crack my neck all the time. I'm not sure if that's a big issue, but I mean, it usually doesn't hurt my neck. In fact, it usually hurts if I don't do it. I have no idea. But yeah, not much to say about this one. It's pretty straightforward. I was pissed that I missed that sleepy seed, but I think I get it again. And yes, I am continuing doing the post commentary, and I will for at least all of the videos of this LP for this week. Just because the section we're doing, it's just much easier to commentate when I'm not actually playing the game live in these next few bits of the game. Riding around on a rocket. I don't want to like get into talking about it, but I'm recording this as the Iowa primary caucuses are starting, and if you are a person who watches my videos, you know that I am a person who pays attention to politics and is interested in seeing the outcome of this thing. And you probably also know who I am hoping for, so yeah, I won't say anything more than that, just that I am extremely nervous, but hopeful, and just eagerly awaiting this being over. It's just so we can find out who won and move forward with the rest of this shit. But anyway, yeah, and here we are on some asteroid stuff. I don't mind this section so much. I kind of just wish that the shooting and movement and like depth perception was a little bit easier to get the hang of, I suppose, or just a little less finicky. And I don't know, I always just kind of wish for more gameplay stuff, like, other than just moving around and shooting, but I guess it doesn't really get, it can't get much deeper than that, I suppose. Oh, I missed a sleepy seed there, that sucks. I was about to say I had a long day at work, but I actually had a pretty short day at work, but it was a very boring one. Absolutely nothing was happening in the place that I was assigned to, and so I was just sitting there.
Just a lone starfish against a mutated, angry fast food product. What would SpongeBob do? I know! Take off his wings!
Yeah, so now we have to fight the Patty bot in the sky. So because I don't really have anything to talk about here, as always, I was looking at my notes on my phone of commentary things, and I think that I was saving this to be talked about during the open season LP, but I actually like recording that one live for the most part, and so I don't really, like, go on long tangents as I sometimes do in a lot of my other LPs, or, like, just talk about... I'm not doing it in post-commentary, so I can't really, like, stay focused on a thing. But, so I think I'll talk about it here, and I was gonna talk about, I believe I've talked before about how I would come up with movie and video game ideas when I was a little kid, but I wouldn't, not in any serious way like I would now, where I actually write them or flesh them out or think about them. Oh wait, before I talk about all this bullshit, this cutscene is fun, and I want to show it, so watch it.
Hey, I know that place. It's home. Well, maybe I should stop this thing. Let's see. Brakes? No. Parachute? No. Instruction manual? Nobody reads these things.
Was that massive noise there for 2 seconds, for like a frame? That was weird. Anyway, oh, well, I don't want to get into it now, because now we're on to the baller-ass part of this game, which is the Giant Plankton part. The part that is featured prominently on the box art and trailers of the game. And yeah, watch the cutscene.
Great deal of trouble.
Good morning, Plankton.
Karen! No mistakes this time! Reroute power feeds B6 and K12.
Confirm. Please enjoy your new size.
Power! The absolute power! Who's your daddy now? Huh? Now let's see if I can cause some good old-fashioned mayhem. Starting with those infernal dwellings over there. My atomic-powered eye sees their abodes perfectly. Now, Karen, anything special I should know about my transformation?
Initial scans report increased size,
Well, duh.
increased physical strength,
Very good.
and the ability to fire an atomic destructo ray from your eye.
Excellent. Now let's cause some mayhem.
So yeah, this is the Giant Plankton part, and like I said, it is by far, other than the SpongeBob plane thing, which we'll also be getting to soon, it is the portion of this game that was featured most prominently in all of the promotional material, to the point that I thought that's what the whole game was about. I thought that it was just Plankton made himself big, and so you have to fight him, but you can also play as him in a few parts. Which honestly, kinda would have been okay with, if that was the whole thing, rather than just like the culmination of all of it, but whatever. But I have to say, I think for the most part, this part mostly like lives up to the hype. I was hoping for a section of the game where you could just run around and cause some destruction as Plankton, and that is precisely what you can do. I, as always, wish that there wasn't so much hand-holding even this far into the game, like Karen telling you what all of your moves are, and then you also have to watch the tutorial, like have the little tutorial message come up that tells you the exact same information. I also don't know why the tutorial information comes up at all when I turned it off, but whatever.
But I'm sure you'll get the hang of it.
But yeah, I'm a little bit spoiled by a game like Incredible Hulk Ultimate Destruction, which is very good fun, and maybe one day I'll do an LP of it. I've never actually beaten it, and it's kind of just fun to fuck around in. I don't really know how dedicated I am to finishing the actual missions. But, I don't know, I kind of wish there was a little bit more versatility in the kinds of stuff that you got to do and had to do in this section. And yeah, I wanted to demonstrate that you can trip over those things like a moron. Because, yeah, it's mostly just punching. You can roar and that destroys a lot of stuff, but it's very limited. Stomping will, you know, get rid of small things. And then you have your I-beam, but again, it's limited. You can only do it every once in a while, and it's kind of hard to control. It's a little bit weird to aim. And for the most part, you're just, like, you know, things are shooting projectiles at you, and you either zap them or punch them, and you punch buildings. And then, yeah, here, he wants to get into this drive-in movie theater that you could easily just, like, stomp on and murder this man, but for some reason he's going to look for a ticket, and of course you just do that by destroying a couple of buildings. And we have to look at them to make sure you know that this is what you're supposed to do. I don't know. I just feel like past SpongeBob games took into account that people other than 5-year-olds might play it. But I guess that's on me for playing games for 5-year-olds. But yeah, I don't want to shit on this part too much, because I was starting out positive, and I remain mostly positive. I think, as far as the sections in this game go, I think this one's pretty fun, and one of my favorites. I don't know if it's my favorite. I mean, I don't really know, because I have issues with all of them, and a lot of my qualms with one section or another can be transferred over to other ones, because they're just general problems I have with the game as a whole. But, you know, this and Starfishman, I think. And, like, the Alaskan Bullworm part is nice. I think Starfishman might, like, stop too frequently for me to like it too much. And yeah, here's 2 very overdone jokes that I've seen in a million things, including SpongeBob episodes. Every single thing ever has made the joke about something popping through the screen in a 3D movie and someone saying, like, oh my god, it's actually 3D. And then, we can't let this thing come between us. I can't name them all, but I can think of like 4 cartoons that, including SpongeBob, like I said, in one of the first episodes, in the FUN episode when Plankton tricks SpongeBob and runs away with the Krabby Patty, and then they say, I hope nothing ever tears us apart, and then he walks through the screen and it rips the screen in half right between the characters. And they did that exact same joke here, except just far more awkwardly because of the animation of the cutscene. It's weird that the cutscenes are what look the most uncanny to me in this game. Like, I feel like the modeling and animation got shittier from the older SpongeBob games, and I don't really understand how. I feel like they were probably made on similar timetables and with similar budgets, but like, yeah, the NPCs they have like 8 basic shapes on them, and like, I don't know. There's many sections in cutscenes where characters' mouths just don't move anymore. They just stop moving halfway through talking because they didn't feel like... Usually because they're talking too quickly, and they, I guess, just couldn't animate their mouths that much. I just feel like that wasn't a problem in the other ones. By no means are Battle for Bikini Bottom and the movie game, like, beautiful looking games or, have like incredible quality animation or textures or anything. But I don't know, they feel kind of stiff and lifeless, but not to the degree of this game. I don't know why. I just don't like how it seems that these SpongeBob games have gotten like progressively lower effort over time. And I think that might just be the biggest sort of general thing I could say about my opinion of this game is just that it has a lot of parts that are fine. The things that it is doing, they're all okay enough, but it's just those little bits of like lack of polish and over hand holding and over simplification that I don't know, it just doesn't hold up as much for me. And then of course like Atlanta Square Pantis is even more low effort because it's just a bunch of quick time events. Animation is even more half-assed. Controls and everything is even less polished. And then after that, they all just kind of fell off. Like, they did the Drawn to Life game, which is fine enough, but it's, like, barely even a SpongeBob game. Then they had Truth or Square, which might buck the trend a little bit. It seemed to want to actually do some different ideas, but to me, it kind of just felt like a less superior kind of Battle for Bikini Bottom, but I would like to revisit it sometime. I don't remember what consoles it's on, but I'd be willing to go back and play that game, because I only played it once, and I don't think I finished it. And then what else came after that? Like Plankton's Robotic Revenge that came out for the Wii U and stuff, and that got like abysmal reviews. I didn't even play it. SpongeBob Hero Pants, the one based on the second movie. I didn't play that either. That got pretty mediocre reviews as well. This eye beam, the Destructo Ray from your eye, is a little bit weird because it extends to the end of the map everywhere it goes, but its actual like range is extremely limited. So like you'll turn it and it'll go through. You'll see it go through something that is in your line of fire, and then it won't do it because you're like 2 feet back.
I have never seen a sight more beautiful. Now what else shall I smash? Finance, the source of world power, and the key to my global domination.
That part perked my ears up when I was playing this, where he was like, yeah, now I'm gonna topple Bikini Bottom's finance district. I think that's the first time. I mean, I haven't watched episodes of the show in a while, so maybe I'm forgetting or I don't know something, but I don't really think that Bikini Bottom canonically has ever really referenced having a financial sector, and that'd be interesting. And honestly, like, you know, yeah, tear down the fucking finance center. Like, I'm pro Plankton at this juncture. I think was I gonna start talking about something? I was gonna talk about making up movie ideas, and I think I've talked before about it's really dumb that you can't punch those helicopters out of the air. I was just thinking that. I've talked before about how most of the time that just meant that I would like draw what I thought the posters or the DVD boxes should look like. And I was just remembering earlier that like I would it was weird. I would make these movie ideas. I would come up with these movie ideas, and they were like ideas that I would, at least at the time, like I would want to make. P.S. I'm sorry if you can hear the beeping of the dryer in this room going off. It should stop eventually, and the video's almost over anyway, so whatever. But I wouldn't, like, I would, on, like, the poster and thing that I would draw, and when I would, you know, just, like, writing down shit in, like, a notebook about the idea, I would give it a release date, and it would just be, like, around that time. Like, if it were September, I would just pick and if it were a September-y release to me, it just seemed like a movie that would come out at that time of year, I would just say, yeah, it's coming out this thing, and that's how I learned that movies usually come out on Fridays, and blah blah blah. I was obsessed with IMDb at the time, back when that site was usable and not a piece of trash. But whatever. Anyway, we did the fun hit the buttons minigame. So next time we will do more Plankton Rampage fun, which should be quite enjoyable. So I'll see you then for that.